Why is my jaw hurt today?
You're deaf sick too.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be sick because all my kids are sick, but I'm not going to be sick.
Well, you can't be sicker than me.
It's not a competition, JD. Nobody's sicker than me.
Good, because you would lose.
No, you have no idea. How many fevers have you had? Because all my colds come with fevers.
Yeah. Oh, there's fevers, there's chills, there's body aches. The one thing is there's no stomach issues. Thank God.
Oh yeah, that's not normal.
No stomach
COVID
issues.
does that, but the
no brain
non-COVID
fog.
doesn't do it.
Just feeling like down because I've been sick for so long. But whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hey, JD, I know you're still sick, so I found some jokes that I wanted to tell you, maybe to cheer you up.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
Okay, just stay with me. Okay. Why don't the other viruses like hanging out with the common cold?
Please don't do this.
Because he's a bad influenza. A bad influenza.
I'm too sick for this.
Okay, no. Let me try this one then. Okay. What do you call it when two people that have colds?
I said I'm too sick.
But it was going to be a good one, though. Okay, fine. We'll just move on.
You just logged into the 3 Sick Gamer Sick. Welcome to the 3 Big Gamer Show. I'm JD.
And this is Peterson. And this is the second episode in a row where JD is still sick. So,
fun fact, don't get a sinus infection because it is not a thing that goes away. Ever. You just live with it. It's part of who you are.
Well, be forewarned, because the first time I got a sinus infection, every cold that I get from now on ends in my sinuses. Every single one, 100% of them.
Just like that pathway has been opened.
Yes. So now, like, be forewarned that could happen to you, and hopefully it doesn't, because it is the worst part. It's the worst part.
Thankfully, I don't live with 4 little disease vectors, but
I can't wait till they move out. I'll be so healthy, you have no idea.
Oh my God. Or you'll have no immunity to anything.
I'll go outside and just start coughing.
Wiped out.
Like, I can't do this. I can't live like this.
Live from the 3 Big Gamer Show. The news. All right, our news this week is brought to us by Crave Cookies. Crave Cookies is this cookie shop. You go to cravecookies.com, you find out what cookies they got. But guess what? They change every single week. Every week we get a new menu, and they come out on Friday. But this podcast comes out on Tuesday. And you're like, well, do you give us like old cookie news? No, we give you early cookie news.
First to hear, first to know.
How dare you suggest otherwise? And the hottest cookie news off the press is that we got a new cookie of the month. It is the stuffed cookies and cream. That is the cookies and cream cookie that has a Oreo just hiding in the middle of it.
Just an Oreo nestled in the dough.
Yeah. And the we've also got the Reese's S'more. I don't know what that means.
I have eaten it. One time I went camping and there was this guy who was, I'll be honest with you, he was a big fat guy. Yeah. And he was like, hey, have you ever eaten a s'more but put a Reese's peanut butter cup inside instead of that stupid Hershey's chocolate? And I was like, no, but the fat guys know what they're doing when it comes to treats. And it was delicious. So they nailed it.
I do like that. Mm-hmm. Also, the maple doodle, the brookie, and the cookie butter cheesecake. Good God, that sounds decadent.
That honestly sounds like too much for me. I don't know if I can handle that one.
But don't worry. I'm sick as a dog, so I won't be making your cookies.
Mm-mm.
People who are less sick than me will be doing that. So go to cravecookies.com, go down to Crave Cookies, the store, get the Crave Cookies app. Get your cookie on. PlayStation's astonishing multiplayer flop, Concord, has probably only sold 25,000 units.
Dude, this is This is story of the year. This
Oh.
and at the same time, Borderlands movie coming out, just flop on flop. I love this.
There's a reason we led with this 2 weeks in a row, because this is unreal. Like, I think it may be the biggest flop since we started doing the podcast.
It's crazy. Like these two and those two things specifically at the same time, that is so much money that they are never going to make back ever.
What are you talking about? At $40 a unit, let's see, 25,000 units. They made $1 million. Dude, they're millionaires.
Bro, they made
they're fucking millionaires over
How long
this
were they
game.
working on this?
8 years.
Whew, unless they had one guy making this for 8 years, yeah, they've lost a lot of money.
Even still, at the average salary that like a senior engineer makes in gaming, you paid for like one guy.
That is absolutely true. Say this guy's making $80K. All right, you got one full-time employee making like $80,000 for 8 years. No raises, nothing. You have barely made a profit. Actually, after all expenses, you haven't made a profit.
Yeah, and he better work from home, and he better be designing the game on his own equipment. and he better pay for all the software licenses he's using to develop the game.
He gets no benefits.
No.
This guy
he just does a lot of yoga and drinks a ton of water.
We're talking 80K flat. That is full compensation package. 80K. Nothing else. No other expenses on this guy, and you have barely cut a profit. So
this is IGN kind of followed up on this, what we were talking about last week, that this game had 700 players on Steam. And the problem with every other platform that's not Steam is that it is very difficult to get accurate numbers. Oh my God. We need to pause this for a sec. I need to go get another cough drop. I'm dying.
Okay. Pause. It's just me. If for the video, the YouTube video that I'm not going to edit, this is just me. So I don't know what to say. What should I say? Should I tell more sick jokes?
Come on. Come on.
JD shouldn't be talking.
Mother of God, dude. Hey, I honestly don't know. Let's see. I don't know. So IGN reached out to a bunch of gaming analysts because we can't get the numbers out of anyone but Steam. So they're like, you kind of have to glean them. Mm-hmm. And like, well, do you guys kind of like, what are your theories on like what Sony's doing? And everyone agreed. All these analysts agreed that poor marketing, high price point, and a lack of differentiation in an oversaturated genre, which is to say the hero shooter genre, is what killed this game. And it's a brand new IP, and they didn't even market it. So no one's like looking for this. No one even knows to look for it.
You're not like, this wasn't like anyone's game of the year that they're really like focused on and stoked for it to come out. This is just like, what is this?
This isn't Concord 2.
It does not have a memorable name. It doesn't have a memorable gameplay loop. There's no memorable story. There's no memorable trailer. There's no memorable characters. Nothing in this is interesting.
And the fact is that they didn't even launch this. So it's $40 for a multiplayer game in 2024. It's a big ask. But they didn't even launch this for free as part of the PlayStation subscription, the PlayStation Plus subscription.
That's the only way this gets any traction is if this is a free-to-play game, because then people will be like, oh, I'll try out Concord. Like, why not?
I'll slap in the face of the PlayStation Plus subscribers, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
You roll out this new game and you don't even let them play it for free?
Yeah, this is...
Concord apparently ranked 147th in the US PlayStation 5 daily active players across all games. 147th.
That is not good.
Fewer than 0.2% of Monday's active PlayStation 5 players were playing the game last week. Analyst Simon Carlis estimated that Concord's total sales are sitting around 10,000 units on Steam and 15,000 units on PlayStation. That's a bad look for your platform anyway. That you can barely outsell a competitor,
dude. And okay,
and by the way, those 10,000 if you times that by $40, so that's 400,000, but then you cut 30% off the top. What is that looking at?
I don't
You're
know.
getting
That's too much
nothing.
math.
So go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, look, I think we need to be done with hero shooters for a while.
Yeah.
And here's why. Because there's a bunch out there, and there's a bunch coming out this year. Like there's Deadlock is a hero shooter. There's, like we said, there's gonna be a Marvel looking one. There's a Marvel one that's coming out. But here's the real problem. There is nobody's doing anything original when it comes to hero design, where it comes to either the way they look or the way they play. There's like a guy with a 6-shooter. There's a guy with a shotgun, with a sawed-off shotgun. There's a robot character.
There's a guy with a trench coat that has pockets at the very bottom that you can't reach. What is that? It's like the most brain dead character design. It's like their concept art that just got like put into the game. It's so bad. The characters are bad.
They're all just like very, very generic. Like if you were to tell AI to design 15 or whatever characters for a hero shooter, just give me the designs and like basic, like this is what you would get. There is nothing interesting in this.
That's a good point. This does seem designed by AI. The whole fucking game does.
Yeah.
The whole game
it absolutely does.
And the strategy behind the game and its development, just like the whole game was just AI for 8 years.
Yep.
So the best part is that all the analysts that they talk to, that IGN talked to, don't think that this is going to stop Sony one iota. Sony is going to continue to go down the live service path because that's what they want. They want people just on the hook, which is weird because, as I mentioned before with the PlayStation Plus subscribers, they're not treating the people who are on the hook very well.
No.
They're just trying to get more people on the hook so they can mistreat them.
And more hooks. One time I went fishing and we were bottom fishing for some, bottom fish. Mm-hmm. And the guys put down like 8 hooks on my line, just like set it down there like, just pull it up when you think you're ready. And I pull it up and there's like 6 fish on the line. That's what they're going for.
Yeah.
They're just like throwing them out there and being like, I don't know, just see what happens.
Do you even need to bait the hooks? Like, nah.
No, what bait? That costs money. We don't bait. So I feel like it's almost like this sunk cost thing where at some point they're so deep into like developing games and losing money on games that they are like, okay, we have to have a gigantic hit or else like it's over for us. And so they're just like trying so hard to make a game that will be a big hit for a couple years. They'll make
a good fucking game, guys.
And that's the real issue. They're not trying to make they're making AI games at this point. It's so bad.
This is an analyst.
I want this one to fail. If I'm being 100% honest, I want this one to fail.
This is a lesson that needs to be learned.
yes, they need to learn this.
An analyst that we've cited here before, Matt Piscatella, he summed this all up perfectly. He said, sometimes everything that can go wrong does go wrong, although it's quite rare to see everything go this wrong. This is the worst. I mean, we've reported on flops. We've been reporting on Skull and Bones the whole time we've been doing this podcast, for example.
I think Skull and Bones probably made more money than this.
It absolutely did, and it has more players actively currently now.
This game is garbage.
And this game ever will. It's surreal that they thought they could get away with this. It's surreal that they thought, well, we won't spend any money on marketing. Maybe they knew it was going to be a flop. So they're like, well, don't waste any more money on the marketing. We'll just release it and watch it fail.
Just hope and pray that it works out. That's the other thing. Like even if this game, I have honestly no idea if this game is any good. I haven't even read reviews if people are like, yeah, this game's pretty good.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Gave it a 7.
It doesn't matter because no one's itching for this. Nobody is itching for this game specifically. And especially not for $40. That was the other thing. Like, did they not have any analysts being like, hey, that's not going to get us there, selling this game for $40? This is a mistake after mistake. And this is just them being completely deaf to what the audience wants. That's why I want this game to fail. Like, that feels hard saying that sometimes,
This
but
is
like
the reward you get for that.
they need to know that nobody wants this, and this is on them. They need to be smarter than that.
I want to see how many people. Yep, 102 people playing this game right now.
On
And there's
Steam.
probably more people playing FTL, honest to God.
Dude, look up real quick. Look up Omega Strikers. How many people are playing that?
510.
See, dude, and we play Omega Strikers every now and then. We'll log in and play it, and we will play every match. Like, we'll play 5 matches, and we'll start recognizing people. I'll log in and recognize people that I played with months ago. I'll be like,
That's
oh, there's
funny.
this guy. And that game is more successful than this game. This is not good.
U-Bowl is trying to crowdfund a sequel to Postal and has raised a whopping $835 so far. He's got a $2.5 million goal, so he's got a ways to go. If you guys don't know, U-Bowl is a director, notorious. He was a German director who used to make all of the worst video game movie adaptations. And he had this exploit. He had this hack using a German tax credit, I believe, that allowed him to make movies that made no money, and he would still get paid, essentially by the German government, to make a shitty movie. And then he would use these. So he'd take these video game licenses, which were dirt cheap at the time, make a terrible video game adaptation that was generally not a video game adaptation of that video game. It was just like the name and the characters, but he'd do his own shitty thing. He's so bad. And he set back the video game movie single-handedly. The whole idea of a video game movie,
20 years.
Easily. Like, just by being a dumbass.
Yeah.
And like, when people would critique him, he'd be like, well, box me.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Like, host critics.
Should we fight? Should we fight in a boxing ring? Put on some gloves and let's do this. That's this guy. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, this guy sucks. So now he made a movie of Postal, which was not a game that you should have made a movie of. Postal was one of those games in the early 2000s. It was a shot game. Like, it was a game where you'd run around and like shoot kids and just do like terrible things. It's kind of like GTA, but like shocking. Like you could pee on things. Like there was like a command where you could like shoot someone and then pee on them.
Oh.
And
now this sounds great.
So he made a movie called Postal, and it starred Scott Farkas.
It did.
It did. Zach Wood, Scott Farkas.
No,
They're not
didn't.
Zach. What is his name?
I have no idea. He's Scott Farkas forever. He had
Zach
yellow
Ward.
eyes.
Sorry. He had yellow eyes. Which is kind of a good casting for the role. No one was asking for a sequel to this. As evidenced
why is he even thinking
by the Indiegogo campaign with $835? But he said, I just had his like Indiegogo page is so fucking funny. We'll see how much of this I can get through. Quote, currently we're living in a world where people desperately need to laugh, but the political correctness, algorithm bullshit, woke and cancel culture destroyed all potentially funny content. It's gone. I don't know if you guys
there's nothing funny coming out.
If U-Bowl is not making movies, humor's dead. He says, and his plan is fucking hilarious, because if he doesn't get Postal 2 made, if they don't get enough to make Postal 2, he'll just make California Fried Movie, which is based on his first movie, German Fried Movie, which was also based on Kentucky Fried Movie. What are we doing here?
What are we fucking doing? I don't know, but can I just say something, JD? I think we need to pledge $100 to this. Because you pledge $100.
Oh, you want to get a voicemail from U-Bowl?
Yes, you get a U-Bowl personalized message. I do want that. Yeah. Believe it or not. Also, $150. We can have a 15-minute video chat with U-Bowl, and I think we could get him to try to fight us.
Oh, I definitely think we could 2-on-1 him, because if that doesn't work, we can also drop $2,000 for lunch with this guy.
Oh, I don't know if I want to see him in person.
$10,000 you can get killed on screen in the movie.
Okay, I do want that.
$50,000 you get to go to Disney World with U-Bowl.
What? Who wants that?
And for $1 million, the highest prize, you get to play U-Bowl in this film. What?
Okay,
he's
maybe
just admitting he's self-inserting himself in the movie as himself?
Do this. What part does he want in Postal 2? What part does he want? I don't understand.
He's playing himself because you're playing him. So you can't be him playing another character. You just be playing that character.
Oh my god.
You have to be playing U-Bowl in Postal 2.
I do wish I had just an extra like 20 grand lying around so I could be in this movie. If I was super rich, I would probably want to do this. That would be hilarious.
You're assuming this movie's going to get made.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, but you could throw 20K at it.
This diatribe he goes on. It's like he didn't think about making this film beyond he sat down on his computer, the full extent. He doesn't have a script. He doesn't have anything ready. He sat down in front of Indiegogo and he started filling out the fields.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he did. And so here's my favorite. He just kind of like, I don't know, freebased some meth or something and just went off. But this diatribe killed me. We need to beak free. I assume he means break free. We need to beak free. And all the offered perks are all okay, but also bullshit. All at the same time, because all of you should make that film happen based on what I just wrote. We die fighting, and we never give up. Postal was seen by over 100 million people, and 99% of them watched us for free on pirate sites or torrents or illegal YouTube links, Tubi, Prime, etc. You paid nothing and you love it. If you love it now, you pay up. It's about the future of all of us, and we don't let it get censored and pushed around. I was, and I still are, the director who gives a shit. And I think funny starts here. That's where Karens and woke assholes cry for help and feel very, very insulted. In my mind.
What is happening?
You guys ever seen SLC Punk?
Oh my gosh.
Is the crazy German guy that they buy pot from.
Yeah.
That is this guy to a fucking T. He's just a loony. But hey, maybe we'll see Postal 2. Has it gone up or is it still $835? There was a YouTube link when I looked at this.
$835 still.
Now it's listed as private. So I don't know what this fucking guy's doing. I have no idea. But good for you, U-Bowl, I guess. I thought that Germany closed this loophole particularly, which is why he stopped making movies. Which is why he's after Indiegogo. What an idiot.
What? Okay, real quick. I'm looking at the Indiegogo page still, and I'm looking at the rewards, the perks, the $150, 15-minute video chat with U-Bowl is a picture of like a old lady in the 90s singing in a church choir, it looks like.
Were you not paying attention? All the offense perks are all okay, but also bullshit at the same time.
Also, the 30-minute Skype one looks like his boner is a Oscar award.
We die fighting and we never give up.
I can't. I don't know what's happening.
You paid nothing and you love it.
The being in Postal 2 for $2,500. The picture is that Gary Coleman with 3 hot girls?
That is actually Gary Coleman at the premiere of Postal, the first movie, because he was a character in the first Postal film.
Oh my gosh. I'm so confused by all this, and I kind of love it. Like, I want to spend another 30 minutes on this page just scrolling and like
it's gold.
It is great.
He's right. This is where the funny starts, where Karens and woke assholes cry for help and feel very, very insulted.
I'm going to read this whole thing later. I promise you I'm reading this whole thing later. This is wild.
Randy Pitchford seriously believed that the Epic Game Store would kill off Steam in 5 to 10 years.
Kill off Steam?
Yeah, this
He
is
has a lot of work to do.
hilarious. Well, I guess this is kind of some part of this is older news because this is a tweet from 2019 where Randy Pitchford said, "From a track record point of view, my expectation is that Epic's investment in technology will outpace Valve's substantially. When we look back at Steam in 5 or 10 years, now, it may look like a dying store and other competitive stores will be the place to be." All right. So somebody tweeted that tweet, a screenshot of it, and said how it started. And then they posted a picture of Borderlands 4, which is available on Steam, and said how it's going. They didn't mention Randy Pitchford. They didn't mention Gearbox or Borderlands. It's literally just an image.
Yeah.
And he responds to it with this gigantic diatribe of just like shit that I didn't even want to bother reading. Just too long, Randy. Leave it at medieval times, you weirdo.
He can't help himself. You know he can't help himself.
Couple of things from this. He says, so famously, you don't get to say famously for some shit you just made up in your fucking head. No. He says, so famously, Steam does very little to earn the massive cut they take and continues its effective monopoly in the West. Yeah, that's what everyone who uses Steam says. They don't do anything. Steam is useless. Steam is a terrible product. Everyone hates the Steam store. People don't like using it.
We don't have any other options. That's it. We only have that one, and we hate it. But what else are we going to do?
What are we going to do? Yeah, he actually touches on that point. He says, the industry gives Steam their monopoly because publishers are afraid to take the risk to support more developer and publisher-friendly stores. Okay, first of all, I don't know much about business, but I'm pretty sure monopolies are taken. They are not given.
Yeah,
you don't
give
out. Unless it's like a fucking like a Soviet style country. Monopolies are taken. So this idea that he's like, oh, the industry just gave it to Steam, which is the assumption is that he gets to sit back and maybe he'll be given a monopoly for something for one day.
He's hoping to get the
monopoly. Asshole. Has Valve tried to buy out Good Old Games or the Epic Game Store? Like, am I missing something? Some monopolistic practices? No, they're just the only ones that are doing a good job.
Like, yeah, they easily have the best storefront, the most easily searchable storefront, the easy to see reviews. Like, and honestly, it's not even anything revolutionary. It's essentially looking at like buying something on Amazon is the same as the Valve storefront. And they've both kind of mastered it. Whereas Epic Games Store, I don't go there to look for new games. I can't read reviews. Like, it's garbage. And so
how is it so bad?
Why do they miss that mark so much? I don't understand. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, Valve has earned their place in the market first by being first and only to the market for a long time.
Yep.
And then by staying on top of it, they haven't been real shady and like doing things they shouldn't do. They're just like they are who they are. They actually like try to improve their store, and they're not like doing anything that's pissing people off.
So Randy wraps this up with some really good advice, because if you want good business advice, you'd listen to Randy Pitchford.
He's great at business.
Famously a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Epic is going to have to prioritize the store and try some new initiatives while also doubling down on earning pivotal exclusives if it's going to have a chance.
They do so many new initiatives, you guys. You have no idea. I just opted into the beta for the family share. I literally share I got a PC. You can't really see it, but it's like right over my shoulder over here where my kids use. They got their own Steam account. And I say, hey, I did the family share thing where like I put who's in my family. They can now play all of my games while I'm playing. Before it was like you could share, but if I'm using my Steam account, they couldn't use it. Now they can play a different game while I'm playing a different game. Like, it doesn't matter. Steam is doing this. No one else is doing stuff like that. Steam is. So like they're doing crap like that all the time.
Dude, this is
Pitchford's an idiot.
Yeah, the most classic fucking executive know-it-all speech. Well, you're going to have to prioritize the store. Prioritize the store. That's like this motherfucker gets up in front of a company meeting. He's like, we got to prioritize the store. And he walks out patting himself on the back so hard he breaks his fucking arm. Prioritize the store? What does that fucking mean? What do you fucking mean by that? They spend like billions of dollars handing people free games over the course of like 5 fucking years. What do you mean prioritize the store? You think it's just like this dying side project that Tim Sweeney made up? No! Dude, this guy is such a fucking idiot.
He's a moron.
God, Randy Pitchford sucks. God!
Meanwhile, Gabe Newell has he's buried under a pile of cash. He has poked his head out. He's like, "What did he say?" And they're like, "Oh, Randy Pitchford." And he's like, "Oh, never mind." He just went back down into his pile.
Pile some more cash back over his ears. Riblets. They're little meat chunks of news.
Just like these are little news chunks of meat.
Yeah, news chunks of meat. News chunks. That's Phil's new name. I'm obsessed with this now. It's in my fucking head, dude. It's like a brainworm. I hate it. All right, the first one here. Nintendo has finally confirmed that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom exist outside of the standard Zelda timelines. So stop trying to make it fit, you weirdos. They're 10,000 years in the future. They're using iPads. It obviously doesn't fit.
Like I don't even. I guess sometimes you just don't have to care as much about the actual timeline of it all. I guess Zelda fans might, but sometimes you just make a game.
The breakdown, you probably don't care enough about Zelda, but there's there are branching timelines for like each game. There's like if something happens, I think it branches in like Ocarina of Time, and part of that game's storyline goes to like other multiple games, and then other games branch off of another one. It's really fascinating. It really is. And if I had played all of these games extensively, I think I'd find it interesting. But I know that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, the new games that came out on the Switch, have really thrown people for a loop because they're like, where does it go? Where do they go? I don't understand. They tried to be really clear with it because in the game, the technology you're using, some of the technology that you find that's very futuristic and computerized is 10,000 years old. So obviously you're pretty far away from anything from the original games, but eventually I guess Nintendo finally just came out. They released their like timeline, and off in the corner, those two Switch games are just floating. They're not connected. There's no lines touching those two. They're not even touching each other. They're just their own thing.
That sounds hot. I want to see a timeline of Mario games and see how that all plays out. And I want to see them connected. Every Mario game.
Yeah.
I'm talking tennis. I'm talking Luigi's
all the Olympic games. Every one of those. How does Sonic fit into this? Where does
I want to see them. I want to see the connection. I want to see the story.
When did Mario get his medical degree?
Yeah, at some point he was a doctor.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. Short-lived medical practice, but he was a doctor for a minute.
He kind of probably wrote a few too many prescriptions.
Lots of pills. He threw lots of pills at every problem. So
he's like, we can treat that with drugs.
What kind of drugs you want? This one is yellow and green. Try that one.
We gave you yellow green last week, so this one was perfect because that cancels it out. The latest patch for Star Wars Outlaws is making players entirely restart their games. This is here for a Blursty nominee for Blurst Bug. This is patch 1.000.002. It's a pretty early patch. It's an 8.5 gigabyte update that fixes some of the major bugs that players have been facing already in the game. Unfortunately, it also just happens to screw up their save files.
And they restarted on all of it. I wouldn't be a fan of that.
Yeah. So they're like, well, just restart. That's it. They're like, don't go back and load an earlier save because it's going to be the same. The worst part is, you think you don't like that. this is mostly affecting the people that were early access players, people who paid
paid
$100
extra.
to play this game super early, and they're the ones that are getting screwed. So,
Ooh,
yikes!
that's not great. I would not be happy. Also, I would laugh about it a lot on the podcast, but I wouldn't be very happy.
In a Ubisoft open world game like this, yeah. I mean, if you cut off and I like Far Cry, I play every new Far Cry like a total sap.
I don't even know why either. Like,
Why do we do that?
I don't know, but
What is wrong
they
with us?
do hit the spot for some reason. Like, I played other Far Cry like games, and I'm like, not the same. I just want to like run in and kill stuff super easy. I don't know.
But if my Far Cry game and I was playing in Far Cry 7 and it cut off 30, 20, even 20% through, dude, I would struggle to start back up a new save.
No, I'd be done. I'd just be like, cancel my Ubisoft subscription and then be done.
I'm done. Like, I already sunk 10 hours into this. This game is long. The Star Wars Outlaws, I think it takes 40 hours to beat.
Yeah, I got other games to play, so I'm not going to live on this game forever.
Anyway, so yeah, great Blursty. Blurst Bug. Way to go, Ubisoft.
Kudos. Kudos. Kudos.
Kudos. Positivity segment. God, I could use some positivity. I can barely fucking breathe.
Yeah, JD is out on kudos this week, but
I
have
There's
one.
nothing good. What do you have? Something
this
that
is
if I
not
put
even
in my
a new
mouth,
one.
I would die.
Yeah. So this is I have been into lately the aged cheddar Gardettos. If you're familiar, Gardettos has been around for a long time. It's just like a snack mix. It's kind of got like a, I don't know,
Are these new?
I don't know if they're new, but they're new to me. Like I haven't really.
It says new on their website.
There you go.
Fuck, dude.
And so I like
mix, right?
I like Gardettos, slightly different. It doesn't have as much like of the breadsticks and stuff, which is my least favorite of it. Instead, they sub that in for like a Cheez-It, like essentially a Cheez-It in there. So it has the rye chips, the Cheez-It, a pretzel. It does have a small breadstick, but it's amazing. And those Cheez-Its are fantastic. I don't know what it is.
Fucking good.
I don't know what I've had like cheddar mixes before. This one tastes different. It's different. And it's by far the best one. It's my favorite snack mix. Better than all of the like the Chex Mix and stuff like that. This one's the best one. I bought, and they're often on sale at Smith's. Like I just bought 3 bags of it because it was like buy three or more, and they're like $1.99 each or something like that. So I just bought 3 of them. And we've been pounding them. My wife's been eating them. I've been eating them. The kids been eating them. Like they are good. So if you are going on a road trip, because that's my road trip snack, Gardettos, for whatever reason, going on a road trip, you just need something to snack on. Try these aged cheddar Gardettos.
But the flavor is really what's making the difference. It's like that cheese that helps, but and the mix is a little different. But you're talking the flavor is
the
great.
Flavor is what is doing it for me. So it is absolute. You got to try them out. I love them. It's just like hits the spot for me. It's salty enough to where I like get my salty snacks fix.
Phil just mentioned in the chat that they used to have a flavor called Chicago style pizza, and I'm here on the Gardettos website, so I'm basically an expert. And they do have Pizzeria Gardettos still, so maybe you can relive your glory days. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
Wait, did you see where you got these? Just like Smith's?
I got them at Smith's. Yeah, it's Kroger. So I'm sure you can just pick them up wherever. But
here's my thing.
Great.
When I get Gardettos, I want or Chex Mix or any mix bags. I don't want a small mix. I want a big mix. I want to be able to shove a whole fistful in my fucking mouth.
Yeah,
and have that not be half the bag.
There's like the medium sized bag and then the gigantic bag. I've been getting the medium sized bag. So it's pretty big size. It's like if chips, they've got like the lunch size, then they've got the slightly bigger, and then they've got the full size. It's like the slightly bigger. That's what I've been getting. And honestly, great. So just get them, check them out. They're very good. I have been very into them. So yeah, which means they'll cancel them soon, but that's aged cheddar Gardettos. Try it out.
Pass it Be enlightened, be enlightened.
Wow. That's Be Kind Rewind is our segment where we talk about the past.
Talk about some stuff from the past.
But you guys already know that. We did it last week.
We
just copy pasted last week's because
and we were like, should we? Oh shoot, what should we? Let's just do it again.
Let's just do something similar.
Yeah.
This is Peterson's awesome idea. What are some films from your childhood that would make a dope game?
And this is coming off the tails of, because I can't stop thinking about The Last Train Out of Wormtown, which is essentially Tremors, the video game. And so I was like, I would have thought about this. So what else aren't we thinking about? You know, I'm not going to like Ghostbusters and stuff like that.
No.
I'm going for like the real random stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what do
no, I
you
like
got?
that.
Do you have any?
Well, yeah, I got some. I
Okay.
started with one that I thought could be really fun. Mask of Zorro.
Oh,
The
great
Mask of
movie.
Zorro, 1998, Antonio Banderas, Anthony Hopkins playing a Spanish guy. Ugh,
So
fucking
great.
brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought an open world adventure game which would be set in colonial California.
California.
Where you are playing against the Spanish. Well, I guess you're playing in a world where the Spanish Dons are kind of at war with Santa Ana and Mexico.
Yeah.
For
I
control of California. And you, as a Spanish Don yourself, are donning a mask and fighting crime.
Bravo. That was great.
Thank you. Because if you guys weren't aware, I'm 90% sure Batman was based on based on Zorro. I'm like 99.9% sure.
Yeah, it's very similar. It's
where
like
they
modern Zorro.
Yeah, it's
like a rich guy puts on a mask,
puts on a black mask, and instead of a whip, he's got batarangs. The same fucking concept.
Yep.
So I thought you're riding horses. You've got sneak missions. You could do sword fights, I guess. I mean, that would have to be the primary combat.
Yeah, there would have to be. Yeah, it'd have to be a little bit of that, and you don't want it to be too difficult. But I would say if you're doing sword fights, there has to be a level of difficulty.
Right, where some guys like the just random throwaway soldiers, you're just like zing stab.
Yeah,
because they're if you guys Zorro uses what is that sword? A little thin, little baby, a little pokey sword.
Yeah, stabby sword.
A stabby stabs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like a
I'll
big. It's not. Yeah, it's more like the swords that they use in like sword fighting competitions and fencing. It's a fencing sword essentially. A rapier. Phil got it. Yeah, so Mask of Zorro is honestly one of my favorite films growing up. I used to watch it all the time. I just thought it was great. And the idea of you taking on the player character, I mean, I like the idea of you playing not necessarily as Zorro, because if you guys haven't seen this film, Mask of Zorro is it's kind of like Batman Beyond, where the old Zorro is training this like kind of a bum ass guy
to be the new one.
Zorro, and that could be you. You're going to be the new Zorro. You have a lair. I mean, come on, you have a lair. You have a horse. You can upgrade. You can upgrade your costume. You can upgrade your sword.
Old world Mexican Batman. That's what he is.
Yeah, so you've got like Batman meets fucking Red Dead Redemption is what we're looking at here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
but like a little bit probably like a couple hundred years before Red Dead, honestly, where pistols are not that big of a deal.
Like there were some guns in Zorro, but yeah, they were mostly
there were no revolvers though.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
So yeah, I just when is Mask of Zorro?
When does it take place?
When is the setting? Let's see. 1821. So yeah, like 100 years before Red Dead Redemption. The settings would be so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They got some good stuff to pull from because Mask of Zorro is a great movie anyway. Would you call it The Mask of Zorro, or would you name it something else?
Rise of Zorro.
Ooh, there you go. Like take on the Batman one plus Zorro, because it's I never thought about it that way, but it essentially is old Spanish Batman.
Yeah, old Spanish Batman. I
Yeah.
just thought that game would be fucking sick.
That movie's great though. Okay. I'll start with an easy one. I'll start with my basic one. I've got a basic one, then I get some kind of out there ones, okay? Okay, first, Bloodsport. Top. This was the first rated R movie I ever saw as a child. This was in 1988, I think it was made. I think I wrote that. Bloodsport with JCVD, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Okay, but you are not JCVD in this. You are, and the game is not called Bloodsport. It's called Kumite. That's the tournament that they're fighting in. So you're some young buck trying to make your way, make a name for yourself in the world of underground fighting. So what this is though, and I want this to be more indie like, so I want this to be have the look a little bit of like that Streets of Rage type of look, where you're running through and you got like different missions to do. Like there's bosses you got to get to, because you got to work your way into the Kumite. You can't just like sign up and pay a fee and get in. You have to work your way into it. You got to be there. And so I want you have to kind of work your way up by fighting these like crazy bosses. And if you've seen Bloodsport,
is this a 2D or a 3D fighter?
2D.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So easy.
2D. And then you got to fight these bosses, and they're like a little bit difficult. They're karate style fights, but in between the fights, okay, this is where it becomes not just Streets of Rage, right? In between the fights, kind of how I'm inspired by Marvel's Midnight Suns. So after you do the fights, you go back and you do some stuff to like train or upgrade your things. So there's story things happening. You got to evade the police, because if you remember, Frank Dukes has to evade the law while he's in Japan.
Sure.
So just stuff like that, leveling up your character, learning new moves that you can do, because you got to work your way up to the Kumite, and eventually you get into the tournament and you got to do the tournament, right? So I want to play Kumite, and I want it to be that old blocky kind of like squatty Streets of Rage guy look, but maybe have it a little bit like the combat a little bit more in depth than what that was like punch, kick, grab, throw.
Punch,
It has to be a little bit more in depth than that, but that's what I want. I want Kumite, the video game.
Ooh, okay. All right, so this next one's a little out there because no one's seen this movie. Bitches, I feel like you bull on this one. You bastards. Why haven't you seen this movie? This is your fault. The Saint, 1997.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Val Kilmer, Elizabeth Shue.
So hot.
Oh, so hot. You get to see her in her bra.
Oh, bro.
Bra.
Yeah. Dude. That's all I wanted when I was a kid.
The Saint is it was actually a remake film of a 60s British TV series.
Okay.
Called The Saint. I think it starred what was his fucking name? Doesn't matter. But the Saint is a thief. He's an international thief. And kind of a hottie, because he's just a seductress. And that's his thing, is that he's always using different disguises. And
Roger Moore.
I should have fucking known.
Played James Bond.
Goddamn Bond. Yeah. Duh. He did the same before he was cast as James Bond. Anyway. So this film, if you haven't seen it, just pause the podcast and go watch it right now.
Yeah, just like that's better than this. So
oh God, yes. The Saint is fantastic, and no one's coughing through the whole fucking movie.
There's a little bit of coughing.
Just mild coughing when he falls in the river. But the Saint, the movie takes place mostly in Moscow and London. And you're kind of just running away from Russians after you steal a microchip from them, using your thieving skills to do stuff. I would envision this game more along the lines of the TV series, though, where you are playing the Saint and you are it's a stealth game. It's a single player action game. It's a stealth robbery game. And so you're breaking into things. And if you've seen The Saint, I don't think he fights anyone. In fact, anytime he has to fight someone, he gets his ass kicked. He is not James Bond.
Yeah, he's like a sneaky spy guy. He's a disguise guy. He's not like a fighter guy.
I think he knows how to use a gun if he had one. I think the most violent thing he does is throw like a torch at a pool of gasoline. Like,
when you say torch, do you mean a flashlight? Because I know it is British. So
no, what I actually mean is like a weird pen tool that he pulls the top off and it just ends up flaming.
Oh,
and
yeah. I have one of those.
Yeah, we all do. But I stealth games have definitely gone out of vogue recently. Was Splinter Cell was the big series way back in the day. And I think this could be kind of a fun revival. A lot of these games, even the stealth games, you still have a gun. You might kill someone or something. The challenge of just pulling this all off. And you could have things like, if you get caught, you have a speech check. And you can see if you can get out of it. I think there could be some fun things because there's some fun quirky things he does. I don't know. I just love this movie. I've seen this movie more times than
I haven't seen it as many times as you. We've established that in the past, but
yeah,
I have seen it. Yeah, I have seen the Saint. Okay, let's see. Let's go medium weird. Okay, one of my favorite movies. I don't know why as a kid. I love the movie Arachnophobia. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah. I fucking have. I watch that all the time. Not all the time.
I don't know,
once a year or two.
Yeah, but I don't know why. Like, I don't know why that movie.
It's got Dougie Doug in it.
Such a big
Sonka from Cool Runnings. He's the radio guy.
I know, but like, it's not like an amazing movie. It's pretty good, but for some reason that was like my childhood is like, dude, yeah, we're gonna watch Arachnophobia.
God, I didn't know Arachnophobia was like a big part of your. That makes me want to watch it more.
I know. My quick story. My brother. This is true story. My brother's sitting on the couch. We're in Vegas, right? Watching Arachnophobia, and a wolf spider jumps onto his chest, and he lost it. I blame this movie for a whole generation of spider hate because everyone was like, "Yeah, freaking hate spiders, man." I saw Arachnophobia.
Yeah, they're one barrel of goo away from this.
Yep.
They're almost there.
So Arachnophobia, and you leave it named as that because that's totally fine.
Recognizable.
It is a Phasmophobia like. So Phasmophobia is the ghost game where you go in to a house and you're ghost hunters. Okay. Arachnophobia, same type of thing. It's honestly, this is like a reskin of Phasmophobia. You're out in your van and you are like essentially spider hunters, and you are going into the house because throughout the movie Arachnophobia, there's like a few times where they got to go investigate what happened. They're like searching for stuff, and there's a spider in the cereal box. Remember that one? So yeah, he's digging through. Oh man, that part creeps me out. So yeah, but they're going through and they search up in the attic and a body comes down. It's in the webs and stuff. So you are essentially a specialized pest control team that is fighting this deadly spider epidemic in this town. So you're going into these various houses, doing searches. There's a couple different breeds of these spiders. You have to like figure out where they are, occasionally fight some of them off. And then it's a mix of like Lethal Company and Phasmophobia. So you're fighting them off.
I am thinking of the wrong movie. I am an idiot. I apologize. I have to correct myself. I have been thinking of Eight-Legged Freaks this entire time.
Oh, no.
I don't think I've seen Arachnophobia. I will correct that this week.
You should watch it. Absolutely, you should watch it.
My bad.
The quick synopsis of Arachnophobia.
Yeah, fill me in.
They go into the rainforest to study spiders. They find this gigantic spider. They kill it, bring it back to study it. One of them sneaks it. One of the guys gets bit, dies. One of those spiders sneaks into his casket. They take it back to America, into this small town where this guy has moved in as the doctor. And this Brazilian spider or whatever from the rainforest is now mating with venomous spiders in the US, little ones, and they're getting these crazy spiders that jump on people and bite them and kill them. They die instantly. This whole
That sounds
town is
awesome.
getting invaded. It's awesome. It really is good.
I'm checking
It's
it out
not
from the library right now as we speak because it's not streaming anywhere for some.
it's
stupid
not.
reason.
It's not. It's absolutely not. I looked too. So, anyways, you're going into these houses like Phasmophobia, like Lethal Company. You're collecting stuff. You're collecting information, trying to figure out where the spider is, the main spider nest, and you have to eradicate them. So it's arachnophobia is essentially Phasmophobia, but the spider version. I genuinely think if you did this right now, you could have a very successful game, just like Lethal Company and Phasmophobia were. I really do think that. So Arachnophobia, the game, I think
Dang,
would
I'm excited to
crush.
watch this. I'm excited.
You should be. It is very good.
Have you seen 8-Legged Freaks?
No.
I think you should watch that. We'll watch.
Okay.
We'll
write it
we'll
down.
spider swap our spider swap movies.
That's not a sex move. It sounds like a sex move. It's
It
not.
sounds like a very painful.
Dude, are
sex
we gonna
move that
see
you
a
have to
spider swap?
Stretch before you do it.
You're like, I don't know if I can do that. Physically capable. Okay, do you have more? I have two more.
I have one more and
Okay,
then a
perfect.
couple honorable mentions. The first one, well, I'll just do my one more. Independence Day. They did make this game. I was on the Sega Saturn.
Yes.
And it sucked.
You need a better one. Yeah. A lot of the movies
want a
I
better
looked
one.
at, I'm like, they did make a game of this, but it was like that era when they were
tie-in.
making a game for every movie.
Yeah.
That's not what we want. That's not
No.
what we're doing here.
Flight sim, but good. I think you could make a multiplayer game out of this even. Like you could make the game, the story, whatever. And there's some really cool fights that you could have play out. But having people play, you could play as the aliens versus the humans,
Mm.
the jets versus the little
The
alien
alien
zippy
spaceships.
ones, and they have the shields. And so like how you would take them down and how they would play differently. I think it could be a lot of fun. I don't know exactly how I would play it out, but I think having a fight in an F-16 against little alien crafts and the background or the setting is another gigantic mothership or
Yeah.
Area 51 or fucking NORAD. Like the set pieces that you could play and fight around in this as a flight sim or it's not a flight sim at that point. It's a
Well, if you're doing like a team-based thing, you could also like have objectives. Like you have to destroy the mini mothership that's holding that has the shield
Yeah.
generator on it, and then you can shoot them down.
or
Or
stop
someone-
the humans from getting to the little laser phaser thing.
Yes, or depending on how many people are in a match, you could have a ground team going
Oh.
and like doing like a virus type of mission.
Fuck yeah.
You know, you could have ground teams. Anyways, it could be kind of fun. That could be very fun.
Independence Day, like I know everyone hated the second movie and people don't want to talk about the franchise being expanded ever again, but it is inarguably an awesome movie and a very cool world that Roland Emmerich made. And
I watched the first movie probably every couple years.
Yeah.
Just like busted out like it was Independence Day again. My
one of the
kids have
biggest
seen it
summer
multiple times.
blockbuster, like one of the original summer blockbusters, right up there with Jurassic Park.
I
And
remember where I was when it came out. That's how big it was. I
Yeah.
genuinely remember where I was.
people just
So-
went and saw this on repeat that whole
Yeah.
summer. They just kept going and seeing Independence Day over and over again.
Yeah, Bill Paxton's amazing.
Yeah, I'd kill for a film of this.
Bill
I think
Paxton,
or a
Roman?
game of this.
Yeah.
What
No,
else you got?
okay, that could be good. Okay. This is the name of the game is not the name of the movie. It should be easy, but see if you
Pullman.
can figure out which one it is.
Bill
Pullman.
Pullman is who you're thinking.
Yes. It's called Ghost Baseball.
Oh,
Ghost-
Angel.
Nope, not Angels in the Outfield.
Okay.
Close. Ghost Field Baseball. Field of Dreams.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
What?
There's no angels in it. I'm out.
There's ghosts in it. What?
There's ghosts in Field of Dreams.
Yeah. Oh, do you not know the? Okay, real
I thought it
quick.
was just Kevin
For
Costner.
anyone who hasn't seen it, Field of Dreams. Kevin Costner has a corn farm in I don't know Nebraska or something like that. Iowa, I think it is Iowa, and he keeps hearing voices out in his cornfield, and he's like, "What the
Been
freak?"
there.
What's going on? Yeah, JD does the same thing with this
There,
little
buddy.
corn patch in his front yard. And so essentially, he's obsessed with baseball. And the voice is saying, you know this, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you? So he builds, he's mows down a big section of his cornfield and
You're
turns
not
it
going to
into
play
a.
the clip after that?
No, I don't have it queued
Oh,
up.
do not
So
come.
he builds a. Oh, that clip.
If you build it, they will come.
If you build it, they will come. Do not come. No. And so listen. Okay, Scott, you got me all mixed up now. Now I'm just trying to think of where the do not come clip is. Gosh,
I
dang
know.
it.
Why do you not have that? How is that not like the number one thing on the board?
There's a lot of clips on the board, okay? It's not just like I have to scroll around to find. Anyway,
Whatever.
so listen. I know. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm not perfect, okay? Not a lot, but sometimes I'm not. Okay. What was I
So the
getting?
aliens are.
Oh, no. So he mows down the cornfield, makes a baseball field, and
Okay.
then Shoeless Joe Jackson comes. He's a ghost, and he's, I don't know why. I can't remember why he comes, but he shows up. Anyways, ghost players, baseball players, keep coming and playing on his field.
This
He
movie
can
is
see
way
them.
dumber than I thought it was in my head.
He can see them.
Holy
Other people
shit.
can't see them, but everyone's like, "Why are you You're wasting your corn crop." Because they're like, "Why are you building a baseball field in the middle of nowhere?" And then they're saying, "If you build them, they will come." He thinks they're talking about the ghost players. It's not. At the end of the movie, there's like a big line of cars coming to watch this baseball game, and it's like this big thing. Anyway,
So everyone
that's
can see
what
the
it's about.
ghosts.
I guess. I don't know. They don't confirm that. That's how it ends. They zoom out and there's like cars coming from all over the place to
What a
his farm.
stupid fucking movie.
Okay, just watch it. All right. It is kind of the premise is dumb. But listen,
This is
you could
dumber
make
than
this in
Signs.
how that is
What is
a
the point of
bar.
that fucking movie?
I don't know. Okay, he's trying to make Shoeless Joe
This
Jackson
is
come
what
back.
happens when Costner makes a non-Waterworld film.
Stick
It's just
to
nonsensical and
Waterworld.
stupid. Yeah, that movie made perfect.
You still
fucking
should
sense.
watch Field of Dreams. I mean, that's
I'll
like
watch it. I thought it was
Guy-
some like cornball shit about like I don't know some
No.
father learning to get close to his son, and so he
No, it's
hits
about
baseballs
ghost
with
baseball
him,
players.
but it's about ghosts in a
So what
cornfield.
this is,
Are you fucking serious? This sounds like somebody described this movie to me in a dream, like a fucking fever dream. I
Like-
refuse to believe
like
that this
this
is
kid-
real. Field of Dreams is about ghost baseball?
yes,
Are you fucking with me?
no.
I'm Googling it right now.
Okay, so what this is though, I want to take this cornier. Okay,
Cornier.
you are a corn farmer in Iowa who is you have to, and there's a little bit of a farming sim because you need to farm your corn to make money because you have to make this baseball field. But so what you're trying to do though is recruit ghost players for your ghost baseball team. But you recruit different players by doing different things. And there's a big roster of guys. So you can you're putting together essentially a team. And it's like, okay, if you do this and this way and on this date, then this guy will show up. Because that's the whole thing. You build it, they will come. And ghost players start coming through the corn and play. And so that's what you're doing. You're doing there's certain criteria for recruiting certain players. You do it, they show up, you're building your baseball roster, but so you're doing that, but also there's a baseball game inside the game. So you now have built a ghost team and you are playing other ghost teams and you're going to play a baseball game. That's what I want. It's going to be a simple baseball
Here's why
game,
this movie
out of
is
the park
fucking
baseball.
dumb as hell. Corn from seed to harvest is 70 to 90 days. These fucking ghosts. I assume the corn in the film is at least as tall as him. That he's not
It's
just
very
walking around.
tall. It's very
so that
tall.
means it's about ready to harvest. And instead of harvesting it, the ghosts, real pricks, by the sounds of it, don't let him wait, I don't know, 2 goddamn weeks to harvest the main source of his livelihood.
They
They're like,
need their
no,
field.
hey, cut down all the fucking corn. We're ghosts. We know what's best. And all he gets rewarded with is a line of fucking cars
They're
outside
gonna
his
pay
farm.
to watch Shoeless Joe Jackson. I don't know. Okay. Have you heard of Shoeless Joe Jackson? No. It's from you got it. Just watch the movie, okay? You just watch it.
I know, I'll watch it.
But Ghost Field Baseball will be based off of this, but this is a baseball management sim, farming sim with a baseball game inside of it. So you're playing like a out of the park baseball type of game. So that's Ghost Farming Sim based off of Field of Dreams. What else
I
do you
really
have?
wish it would have been Angels in the outfield.
Kelsey was watching that the other day, and I was like, "What are you watching?" And then I saw them doing the motion, and I was like, "This movie is so stupid. I can't handle this. It's so dumb. It's so dumb." A Field of Dreams is better than Angels in the Outfield.
Doubt.
Okay. You have to watch Field of Dreams now. I have seen Angels in the Outfield recently.
Okay. I'll watch your shit movie. I'll wash it down with some.
Just start making a list. Just start making a list. I have Eight-Legged Freaks on my sticky note right here.
No, that's great. I'm stoked. Okay. I just had two that I didn't really get into.
Okay.
Because I think they'd probably be best fit as like just kind of a 1-to-1 to play through. Like you kind of played through, like you're playing through the movie.
Yeah.
The Mummy is one I watched a ton as a kid. Love the Mummy. An action adventure mummy game. Maybe
you could do some stuff in that. You could do some stuff in that universe that would be interesting.
There's some fun scenes. There's a lot of action in that. So you'd have a lot of like fights and like you got the initial scene with I don't know, there's just a lot of fight scenes.
Yeah.
With Brendan Fraser. A lot of gunplay. Tons of gunplay. So it'd be
you could do it like I'm playing shooter. Midnight Suns. You could even do it as like a turn-based combat type of thing. That could be fun.
Yeah, so that could be fun. And then Triple X with Vin Diesel.
Bro.
Welcome to the Sandra Zone. That movie's just sick as hell. That movie's sick as fucking hell. Stop thinking secret agent, start thinking PlayStation. Blow shit up. Best line of the movie.
Triple X with Vin Diesel. Would the character be Vin Diesel that you're playing as?
I can almost guarantee you could get Vin Diesel to voice it.
Yeah, you could. He did a rap he did like a hip hop R&B album or something like that. It's real bad.
He seems pretty chill and he loves video games. He loves
I have one, and this is based off of a movie nobody has seen. I don't know if I've ever met another person that's seen this that isn't one of my brothers. This is a cartoon movie called Flight of Dragons. And it was like in 1981 or 82 or something like that. It is the same style, animation style as the Hobbit cartoon. Did you see that?
I was just in my head. I could just feel like that's what I was picturing.
It is the exact
early 80s animation. That's what I was picturing.
It is the exact same like animator. Like it looks like if you're watching clips from it, you're like, oh, this is the Hobbit cartoon. What this story is, the world exists where magic exists, and there are wizards who they kind of have like a feature. It's like a green wizard and a red wizard and a orange wizard, but they're all tied to a dragon, like a green dragon, and then the gold dragon is like, and so these wizards are getting together because the world is evolving and technology is starting to take over. And when technology and science takes over, then magic becomes diluted, and so their magic is getting less powerful. So the blue wizard calls together a council of the wizards. They're like, we got to figure out what we're going to do, how to address this. And of course, the evil red wizard, who looks like a psycho evil guy, he shows up and he's like, no, I know what we're going to do. We're going to kill all the humans. That's what we're going to do. And they're like, we got to stop that. So as part of their plan to stop this, they need to recruit a human who understands science, and logic is a big piece of it. Logic. And so I don't know how, I can't remember how they do this, but they get a guy from 100 years in the future. They bring him there, and he is on their team, and they're really trying to like fix this, like defeat this guy. And they put together a ragtag team. Like there's humans and there's like little goblin looking guys and like all this stuff. I loved it as a kid. This just needs to be, honestly, just needs to be some kind of RPG based on Flight of Dragons. This could be a turn-based game because it is like a squad.
High fantasy shit, dude.
It is a squad. But this movie, if you've never seen it and if you liked the Hobbit cartoon, this is a watch. You will be shocked. at like how good it actually is. It's weird, but it is good. And we loved it as a kid. So Flight of Dragons, if they kept the animation style, if they made a game of this, I
that would be a trip.
would lose it. I would lose it. I would pay $40 for it. It would be a problem because this would hit my nostalgia button so hard. So Flight of Dragons, check out the movie, but we could build a fun game out of this.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it?
That's it. That's all
Guys,
I got.
tell us your games. Jump on Discord. Tell us what. Oh, Patrick in our chat said new 2D stealth action platformer, The Thief and the Cobbler. There. Yeah. I want to hear your movies from your childhood that you think would be awesome games.
Mm-hmm.
Dice of Destiny.
All right, Dice Destiny is this game we play at the end of the episode. We've got a 6-sided dice. We use it to see who's going to be rolling the 20-sided dice, which has 20 different game genres assigned to it. After you figure out your genre, now you have to roll another 6-sided dice to find out your budget. And last week, Peterson rolled a space game, and he rolled a 5. So he has $50 to spend on a space game. Tell us, Peterson, what did you pick?
All right. Well, the dice knew, fate intervened, and I was like really like trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the space game, and then it hit me. I was like, Star Wars Outlaws just came out like a few days after I rolled that.
Yeah, they just patched that bug out.
It came out, and I was like, I have to play it. I wouldn't play it otherwise. This is what Dice of Destiny is built for. I would not have played this game. But I'm going to play it. So Star Wars Outlaws, and you'd be like, Peterson, this game is $70. It's not $50. Well, the Ubisoft Plus hack. I am going to go to Ubisoft Plus, $17 a month. I'll get it. I'll play it. And then I'll cancel my subscription. That's how I've played several dice games like this. Honestly, several of them. Totally valid. It works. So Star Wars Outlaws, I'm taking one for the team. I've heard it's pretty good. Like, I'm hoping it's great. I'm hoping I really get in there and like really have fun with it. The only problem is since I decided I'm playing that game, I have been busting my butt to get through Marvel Midnight Suns.
We're so hooked on that game.
So hooked. Honestly, oh gosh. You want to know how much I've played of Marvel's Midnight Suns? I don't even know.
Tell me the hours.
I don't know how to see it very easily. It's hard to see. Oh, Marvel's Midnight Suns. Almost 70 hours now.
What?
Good
heavens.
Love it. I love it. Love it. And honestly, I joined the subreddit, and every single post is like, hey, I just picked this game up, or I picked it. It was on PS Plus and it's going away soon. So I figured I better play. Everyone did the same thing I did. They were like, it was on their radar, but they were like, meh, it's a Marvel game. So like, it's not gonna be that good. And every single person was like, this game is amazing. It's very unfortunate that it came out with like Marvel during the time when everyone's burnt out of Marvel. It's amazing. So I have to finish that, and then I'll jump in and start playing Star Wars Outlaws. I think I'm almost done with Midnight
I'm stoked.
Suns.
I'm stoked. I think if I wouldn't say had to, but if I was destined to play Outlaws, I would not be sad at all.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm only sad that I have to punch out Midnight Suns so I can play this. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So
okay, well, you'll have dude, honestly, if you want an extra week on this one, don't worry about it.
We'll see what it takes, how much game time I have this week. I like I said, I played a lot of Midnight Suns this last week, so I should have time to play this game and like really get a feel for it. So
yeah, let's see. How long does it take to beat Star Wars?
40 hours, I think.
I guess you can get it. You want to crank through it and do it 15 to 20.
You know that's not how I play games.
That's not how you play a Ubisoft game. So yeah. Take your time on it.
Okay.
We'll have a review for next week or the week after.
Yep.
All right. And so to play us out, we've got a little taste of Peterson's childhood.
There you go.
The theme, I assume, from Flight of Dragons. This is tight.
Isn't this, dude? It matches the animation style.
I can exactly. I close my eyes. I know what animation style I'm looking at.
Yep. So good.
This is Katie logging off.
And this is Peterson going AFK.
Hey, thanks to everyone that jumped on, by the way. Everyone on our disc, everyone that was